Hey, what's up guys? I'm Steve Wells, and today we are going to be talking about one of Hoka's lighter weight, more affordable trail shoes, and that is the Torrent 2. Not to be confused with the Ultra Torrent. This is the Torrent with a T. So like I said, this is going to be one of Hoka's lighter weight shoes. It's not going to be as lightweight as the Zinal that they just came out with. However, it's going to be a little bit more aggressive on the outsole and a little bit more affordable as well at $120 instead of $160. If you're comparing this one to the Hoka Speed Goat, it's not going to have quite as much cushioning. It's not going to have the Vibram outsole like the Speed Goat does, but it is going to be a little bit lighter weight, a little more nimble, and a little bit more affordable, $25 less than the $145 price tag on the Speed Goat. If you're looking for any more tech specs on the Torrent, be sure to check down below in the description. I'll have all the numbers listed out there. But before we get into some pros and cons about this shoe, I just want to talk really quick about my Patreon. I've got a link down in the description to that. Head on over there so that you can help support the channel, help keep me doing what I'm doing. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe down below. So getting right into it with some pros on the Torrent. Like I said, a little bit lighter weight than some of Hoka's other shoes. However, while it is lighter weight, it does have these kind of overlays that are color matched to the rest of the shoe so they don't stand out too much. Still has that kind of sleek look to it, but is going to give you a little bit more durability, a little bit more water resistance if you're walking through dew or shallow puddles or something like that as well. A pro for me with this shoe is that it is a little bit lower cushion than the Speed Goat. In the Speed Goat, I feel like I'm a little bit clumsy. If it was a road shoe, I would be fine with it because I wouldn't be on such unstable surfaces like you are on the trail. But I think this shoe is a really good balance between having enough cushioning that you're not going to feel every pebble that you step over, but also keeping it a little bit lower profile so that you still have that control so you can step around rocks and roots whenever you need to. So if you can tell here, the shoe does have a little bit deeper lugs on it. So if you are comparing it to something like the Zinal, if you're going to be in more kind of sloppy, muddy conditions, this one might be worth choosing over that. This shoe is going to be more similar lug wise to something like the Speed Goat. Another pro about this shoe is not so much a pro necessarily, more of a con that it doesn't have that a lot of Hoka's other shoes have, and that is this kind of wall in the arch that some people have problems with. So with me having a relatively flat arch, I do kind of push up and over the side of the Clifton and a lot of shoes, and this one especially causes problems for me. Some of Hoka's other shoes do as well, but this one is especially apparent how it kind of comes up around the side of your foot, and then my foot goes up and over the edge of it. And that was something that I wasn't noticing when I was running in the Torrent. And my last pro is the looks. I think the shoe looks pretty cool. It kind of looks like what it's meant for, and that is going a little bit faster. There are some different cool colorways, but this is my favorite one, the orange. If you are not a fan of bright colors, just go out and get them dirty and then you'll be happy with them. I also think that this kind of marbled look to the outsole that a lot of different companies have been doing on their shoes lately is super cool as well. So moving on to some cons on this shoe. One is the outsole rubber is not going to be as grippy as some others whenever you are on wet rocks or roots and that kind of thing. You really can't beat the Vibram Mega Grip that comes on like the Speed Goat or the Olympus. that would probably make the shoe a little bit more expensive, and so I am happy with it being a little bit lower price point and having some of Hoka's rubber on the outsole. However, I did notice that it was a little bit more slippery when I was doing water crossings on mossy rocks and that type of thing. Another con for me that actually makes it a pro for my girlfriend is that it is a little bit narrow as well, has a little bit of that kind of curved shape that I've talked about that causes problems for me in some of Hoka's shoes. So that's going to make it so that whenever my foot is in the shoe, it presses on my little toes, squeezes a little bit tighter than I would like through the ball of my foot and midfoot as well. Not enough that it was super uncomfortable or painful on my runs, but I definitely was noticing it, and it would probably prevent me from doing much longer runs than maybe 5 or 6 miles in these. But that about does it for cons with this shoe. I was generally pretty satisfied with these guys. So will I continue wearing these shoes? I probably will, but only for shorter, faster trail runs. Like I was saying, they are a little bit tighter than I would like them to be, which makes them feel faster and a little more nimble on the trail, but also I think would get uncomfortable if I was doing longer runs in them as well. And who would I recommend this shoe to? I recommend it to anybody that's looking for a daily trail shoe, wants something a little bit more affordable, doesn't want to be paying $150, $160 for a trail shoe, but needs something that they can get out there and do, 5, 6, even up to like a half marathon or something like that in. I recommend this one also to people that have run in the Speed Goat before, but felt like it was a little more cushioning, a little more clumsy than they would like it to be on the trail. I also recommend these to people who want something for race day, something a little bit lighter weight and faster, and don't want to spend the $160 on the Zinal, or want something a little more aggressive for sloppy conditions, or want something a little bit more durable so that they can wear it longer term than you would necessarily want to wear the Zinal. Not to say that you can't wear the Zinal for all of your daily runs, but it's not really what it was built for as much as the Torrent is. So I hope this video has been helpful. If it was, be sure to like and subscribe down below. While you're down there, check out the link to my Patreon, and I will talk to you guys next week.